stood on the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rising up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and on his horns 10 crowns, and on his heads a blasphemous name. Welcome to the Revelation 13 podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Revelation 13 podcast. I'm your host, Mike Hopwood. Throughout time, wherever people have settled, they leave behind traces of their existence and clues to things that they did and the level of technology that they had. Some items are forever lost and cannot be found or recreated, but some items are common to everyday use and to the time period that they belong and offer no surprises to archaeologists and historians who find and study them. But there are artifacts that have been found that question modern man's assumptions on the ancient past. From 1572, we have an account that was written in a letter and stored in the Spanish archives in Madrid. The Spanish viceroy to Peru had come into possession of a 6-inch nail that was given to him as a souvenir. This nail was in perfect condition, and apparently the nail was found inside of a rock, which would be strange because it was embedded in a rock and not just somebody had driven it into the rock, as if the rock formed around the nail. In the 1820s, the American Journal of Science and Arts gives the account of a strange discovery in 1788 in the Axion province of France. 40 to 50 feet below the ground, in a layer of limestone, the petrified remains of wooden tools, a quarryman's board, handles of hammers, and coins were found. Obviously 40-50 feet below, embedded in limestone. In 1822, the American Journal of Science reported the finding of a flat rectangular surface near Pittsburgh, 3 feet long and 5 to 6 inches wide. On its surface, there were rows of evenly spaced diamonds. These shapes, each with a raised diamond shapes, and each with a raised band across the center of the diamond-like shape. On fragments from the impressed rock, they found fossils of primitive plants that, according to modern secular science, dates to 400 million years ago. Also in 1822, the American Journal of Science reported the finding of several man-like footprints impressed into an outcrop of grayish-blue limestone along the west bank of the Mississippi River, south of St. Louis. The width of the footprints were 10.5 inches wide, and the normal human foot does not get that wide, but footprints of a giant would. In 1826, people digging a well near the Ohio River in North Cincinnati found at a level of 94 feet a buried tree stump that had axe marks on it, and the axe wedge was found embedded in the top of the stump, and the iron axe wedge was in an advanced state of rust. The find left people wondering how these items came to rest 94 feet in the ground. In 1829, the American Journal of Science reported the account of correspondence sent to a Professor Silliman of strange indentations found in a block of marble in November of 1829 from a quarry near Philadelphia. When the block was cut into slabs, it exposed the indentations that were 1.5 inch by 5/8 inch long. They looked like the letter I and U, except that the U wasn't rounded but squared. The block was found at a depth of 70 to 80 feet. In 1845, Sir David Brewster wrote in a correspondence about the finding of a nail in a 9-inch block of stone from the Kingodie quarry in North Britain. In the June 1851 issue of the Scientific American had a report of a metallic vase dynamited out of solid rock in Dorchester, Massachusetts. The bell-shaped vase measured 4.5 inches high and 6.5 inches at the base. The metal used was made with an alloy of zinc and silver. On the sides were 6 groupings of flower arrangements. The inside of the vase was inlaid with pure silver. This vase came from solid, what they call pudding stone, 15 feet below the ground. Also, that year, in Westside County, Illinois, two copper artifacts were found when they were brought up in a drilling bit when they were drilling for a well in sand stratum 120 feet down. The artifacts found were of a hook and a ring. The London Times in December of 1851 reported the account of Hiram DeWitt of Springfield, Massachusetts. He claimed that when he dropped a piece of quartz about the size of a man's fist, it split open, and inside was a cut iron nail, slightly corroded, about the size of a sixpenny nail. In 1853, a horned lizard was found in a block of stone. It was reported that the rock was so solid as to preclude the entrance of the smallest insect. More amazing, the lizard was reported to be alive and was sent to the Smithsonian, where it died 2 days later. In 1856, French workmen digging a railroad tunnel between the Dizdar and the Desir and Nancy lines were startled when something came out at them from a boulder that had just split open. The creature fluttered its wings and croaked and died at their feet. Upon inspection, the creature's wingspan was 10 feet 7 inches long and had 4 legs joined at the membrane like a bat. It had long talons, and its mouth was arrayed with sharp teeth. Its skin was like black leather, thick and oily. The workmen took the creature to the nearby town of Gray, where a local student of paleontology identified it as a pterodactyl. And upon inspection of the boulder, they found a cavity in the exact shape of the pterodactyl, as if the rock had solidified around the creature. Between the years of 1857 to 1866, in gold mines on Table Mountain near Needles, California, they discovered bones of mastodons, mammoths, bison, tapirs, horses, rhinos, hippos, and camels. Also among the bones they found a grinding stone, a large stone bowl, part of a human crania, and a stone mortar, and a complete human skull, buried in the mountain. In 1865, the remains of a 2-inch nail found in a piece of feldspar stone was discovered in the Abbey Mine in Treasure City, Nevada. Also in 1865, while excavating the Hartlepool Waterworks in Durham, England, workmen inadvertently freed a live toad from a piece of limestone 25 feet below the ground. In 1867, at the Rocky Point Mine in Gilman, Colorado, at a depth of 400 feet, they found human bones embedded in a silver vein.